I find it hard to express to you guys just how useless traditional night vision feels nowadays, especially after using a night vision system with a thermal overlay like this one. Affordable digital night vision with thermal fused image technology has reached a point where it's legitimately impressive, and the Shinenyx G1A is the device that proved it to me. So what is it? It's a helmet-mountable digital monocular that combines a high-resolution low-light sensor with a built-in thermal sensor. I went into this review fully expecting it to be junk based on bad experiences with earlier digital units, but after running it hard for 2 full weeks, I came away genuinely preferring it for a lot of real-world tasks. First, the basics. The G1A is a helmet-mountable monocular that weighs about 17 ounces by itself, or roughly 18 ounces with the dovetail arm attached. Inside, you've got a 1.7-inch 1600 by 1200 night vision detector paired with a 0.36-inch 384 by 288 thermal core. Everything gets fused in real time on a massive 2.1-inch LED display running at 50 frames per second. It has digital zoom, cycling between 1x, 2x, and 4x using the side knob. The G1A ships with dual 18650 batteries. It's IPX5 water resistant, and it's built tough enough that I hosed it off under a faucet after a weekend of rain and mud, and it didn't care. Street price right now is hovering right around $4,000, sometimes a hair under if you catch a sale. That's the entire package. Night vision, helmet mount, Picatinny clip-on mount, the works. Let's start with the field of view. This thing gives you roughly 60-degree horizontal field of view. That's a 50% jump over the standard 40-degree tube most people know. What does that feel like in real life? Imagine sprinting across a field full of logs and roots. With a 40-degree view, you're constantly dipping your head to check your feet. With the G1A, your peripheral vision literally sees the ground in front of you while you're looking straight ahead. Digital means the image is constantly auto-calibrating. You're not messing around with gain. You're not blowing things out. Brightness, contrast, it just looks correct. And that applies to the thermal as well. Next, depth of field. This is the part that still blows my mind. You focus the objective lens once for whatever distance feels natural, and then you're sharp from about 3 feet all the way out to several hundred meters. I could read a poster on a wall inside a pitch-black house and then immediately look outside and pick out individual branches on trees a football field away. That alone makes administrative tasks, reloading, reading a map, manipulating a radio, dramatically easier than constantly cranking the focus ring on a tube. The 1600 by 1200 night vision sensor is crystal clear, edge to edge. At 1x, I was reading license plates at 60 to 70 yards under nothing but starlight. Faces are recognizable well inside 40 yards. The thermal lens is small, so detection range is around 100 to 125 yards, but because it's overlaid on top of that ultra-high-res night vision image, it feels way better than a standalone 384 by 288 thermal. With rapid target outline, a bright red contour snaps cleanly around living targets. Whether it's a deer in the woods or someone tucked into the brush, the outline appears instantly and is impossible to miss. Another massive advantage, you can't damage the sensor. You can stare straight into a flashlight. You can look at the sun. I've done it. No damage. You're not risking a multi-$1,000 white phosphor tube every time you turn it on. That alone changes how often you actually use the device. Moreover, you can EDC this thing. You can take it out at night. You can play with it. You're not scared of ruining it because it's digital and waterproof. All right, now let's take a look at the controls. Up top, you've got your power button and your mode button. The mode button's what cycles you through the different viewing modes. You've got a 60-degree field of view for night vision, and in the middle, there's a 40-degree box, which is your thermal overlay. The first mode is night vision only. The second mode is fusion, using a white-hot thermal overlay, and the third mode is thermal only. Now, to get into the menu, you're going to press in on the side rotary button. This is the same dial you use to change magnification. The first menu option is basically your mode selector, letting you cycle through those same viewing modes. The next option is brightness, so you can adjust that depending on your environment. The third option is your outline mode. This is what helps targets stand out. The fourth option is magnification, which does the same thing as turning the side dial. After that, you've got your reticle options. You can scroll through different reticles or turn the reticle off completely. And if you're mounting this on a rifle using the included mount, this is also where you adjust your zero. It's actually super easy to do, especially with night vision and thermal. Overall, the controls are straightforward, the menu is easy to navigate, and everything just makes sense once you start using it. Battery life is legitimately great. 2 flat-top 18650 batteries got me through 2 very long nights of constant use, and I still had juice left. Real-world runtime looks like 5 to 6 hours on internal batteries alone under heavy use, way more if you run an external pack. The unit is rechargeable via USB-C, or you can swap out the batteries inside. As I already mentioned, the zoom is handled by a knob on the left side. The problem? The knob's a bit loose. Bump it while you're moving, and suddenly you're on 4X trying to run into a room, and the world turns into a postage stamp. That needs to be a positive detent clicky knob in the next version, no question. So where does this leave us? $4,000 is still real money, but for what you're getting, panoramic field of view, insane depth of field, usable thermal overlay, excellent battery life, and an image that's genuinely sharp enough for positive ID at realistic distances, this is the first digital unit I've touched where I came away thinking, yeah, I'd run this on purpose. If you're literally going to war, yeah, a PVS-14 with a clip-on thermal that costs $12,000 is probably still the right answer for that very specific scenario. But for everything else, training, property use, real-world utility, actually owning it and actually using it, this is more than serviceable. If you're in the market for a monocular right now and you don't need the absolute blackest out, no moon performance of a top-tier Fotonus tube, this thing deserves a serious look. That's it from me. If you've run the Shinenyx G1A or any of the new wave of Fusion devices, drop your experience in the comments. I read all of them. And if you found this helpful, the usual YouTube stuff helps more than you know. Like, subscribe, all that. I'll catch you in the next one.